Huron-Clinton Metroparks. Basically what that means is I'm a teacher that visits schools and teaches kids fun stuff about nature and about animals. But today I'm visiting you in your very own home, and we're going to learn about baby birds. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. Things we're going to do today, one thing we're going to do is we're going to read a story. We're going to have a puppet show. We're going to pretend to be a baby bird growing up, and we're going to sing a song. So let's go ahead and get started with that book. Now, the book that I want to read to you is a book that's called Are You My Mother by P.D. Eastman. Now, you can see I have two versions of this book right here. This one is a bit longer, and so for our purposes, I like to read the shorter version. So we're going to go ahead and read this. Are You My Mother by P.D. Eastman. A mother bird sat on her egg. The egg jumped. I must get something for my baby bird to eat, she said. So away she went. Inside the nest, the egg jumped. It jumped and jumped and jumped until pop! Out of the egg came a baby bird.
Where is my mother?
He said. He did not see her anywhere.
I will go and look for her,
he said. Out of the nest he went, down, 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 plop. The baby bird cannot fly, but he could walk.
Now I will go and find my mother, he said.
He came up to a kitten and he said,
Are you my
mother? The kitten didn't say anything. He just looked and looked. He came up to the hen and he said,
Are you my
mother? No, said the hen.
How about you? Are you my
mother? The baby bird asked a dog.
Well, how can I be your mother? I'm a dog,
said the dog. He went over to the cow and said,
Are you my mother?
How could I be your mother? Said the cow. I am a cow. The baby bird stopped to think. The kitten and the hen were not his mother. The dog and the cow were not his mother.
I have a mother,
said the baby bird.
I know I do. I will find her. I will.
Just then, the baby bird saw a big thing. You are my mother, he said. The big thing just said, snort. Oh no, said the baby bird. You are not my mother. You are a scary snort. See him right there? The snort lifted the baby bird up, up, up. Then something happened. The snort put the baby bird right back into the tree. The baby bird was home. Just then, the mother bird came back.
I know who you are,
said the baby bird.
You are not a kitten or a hen or a dog. You are not a cow or a snort. You are a bird, and you are my mother.
Oh, that was a great story. Let's give that story a round of applause. Very good, very good. You know, usually about the time that we're done with that book, the puppet is ready to come out. Would you like to help me see if it's ready? Yeah? Well, what we have to do is it's asleep back here right now, and we can't talk to it if it's asleep. So I'm going to need you to help me wake it up. And what we do is we say the words, wake up, puppets, until they come out. And then when they come out, we turn on our listening ears and listen to what they have to say. Okay, let's hear it. Wake up, puppets. Come on, puppet, your friend is here. Oh, hello there. I'm sorry, I'm so late. I just had 3 baby birds hatch out of their eggs and I'm exhausted. Oh, they're hungry all the time. Oh my goodness, everybody take a look and see Britney, Mama Bird. Can you say hi to Britney? Hey, Britney, what seems to be the problem? Oh, well, like I said, I had 3 babies hatch out of the eggs, and I'm exhausted. Oh, well, congratulations on your babies. In fact, you know, I think I saw a picture of your baby birds. Let me see. Oh, yeah, here's a picture right here. Here, guys, you want to see? Look at their baby birds. Such beautiful baby birds. They look just like their mother. But Brittany, I don't understand. What's the problem with them being hungry all the time? Eating is what helps babies grow up. Oh, well, you must not be a parent, or you would understand. Oh, I thought it was hard when they were still in the eggs, and I had to sit on those eggs hour after hour, day after day, until they hatched out. That's nothing compared to now. Now I'm constantly searching for worms and bugs to feed them. Oh, and do you want to know the worst part? Oh, yes, please tell me what's the worst part. Oh, the worst part is I have to chew up those worms and then spit it into their mouth. Oh, gosh, that does sound awful. I don't think I would have liked to had to chew up food and spit it into my son's mouth. That must have been really bad for you. Oh, you have no idea. What's that noise, Brittany? Did you hear that? Oh, that's my babies. They're hungry again. It's time to find some more worms. Bye. Everyone say goodbye to Brittany. Bye, Brittany. Hey, is it just me, or did that Brittany seem a little bit stressed out? Yeah, I think she sounded a little bit stressed out. But you know, that makes me think of something else that I wanted to do with you. I wanted to pretend to be that baby bird growing up. But first thing we need to do is we need to make a nest. If you've never seen a nest before, I have one for you to take a look at right here. Why don't you come closer and take a look? As you can see, this nest is made of some grasses and some sticks. Looks like there's some fluff in there too. And if you'll notice, one of the eggs have hatched, but the other two have not. Maybe we'll learn in a minute why those other two didn't hatch. So now that you've seen the nest and you know what it looks like, now you can imagine making your own nest, okay? So this is what we do. We all get on the floor on our knees, just like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to pretend to take some sticks and some grasses and make your nest around you. Okay, so grab some sticks and make your nest, okay? All right, very good. So now we have our nest. We need to have an egg in the nest. And what we'll do is we'll take our egg and we'll put it in our nest. Now, Mama Bird and Daddy Bird, they have to take turns keeping this egg warm, because if it gets cold, the baby won't grow and it won't be able to hatch. Do you think maybe that's what happened to those eggs that were in that nest? Maybe they got too cold. But how are they going to keep them warm? Are they going to put a blanket on them? A heating pad? No, of course not. They have to sit on the eggs, but they have to do it gently. They don't want to break them, right? So on their chest, they have a spot called a brood patch. And what you have to do is you have to take your brood patch and put it on your egg. It's not very pretty, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but let's go ahead and try it, okay? Everybody get your brood patch and put it on your egg. Okay, got it? All right, so we are here, and we're gonna sit here keeping our little egg warm. We're gonna be here for a little while, guys. We're gonna be here longer than an hour. We're gonna be here longer than today. Let's count how many days we might be here. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days. Can you imagine being like this for 14 days? I can't even imagine being like this for 14 more seconds. Everybody go ahead and take a seat back on the floor. I'm going to get into my chair. Very good. So now we have our egg. And now we're going to pretend that we're that little baby bird inside of the egg. And our parents have been keeping us nice and warm. But now it's time to come out. Do you know how we're going to come out of that egg? How are we going to get out? Are we going to use a hammer? No, there's no room for a hammer in there. We're going to use their beak, right? So what we're going to do is we're all going to take our hand and pretend like this beak is, our hand is the beak. And we're going to peck on our eggshell like this, okay? All right, everybody, on the count of 3, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Peck, 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 peck. Very good. Pop. Oh, look, you came out of your egg. Now look at you. Oh, when you first come out of your egg, you hardly have any feathers, and your eyes are closed, and your mouth is open wide, and you're going, ah, 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 ah. Can you do that? Maybe we could say cheep, cheep instead. Let's all do it together. Cheep, 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 cheep. So why are those babies making all that noise? Yeah, they're hungry, you're right. So what do they need to eat? Do they need to eat macaroni and cheese? Or pizza? No, of course not. That's not what baby birds eat. They like to eat things like worms. Oh, you know what? I think I've got some worms here. I've got a great idea. I'll pretend to be your mommy bird, and you be my baby bird, and I'm going to bring you some worms to eat, okay? But you have to call out for me. Remember, ah, 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 or cheep, cheep, cheep. That will let me know you're hungry, okay? Let me hear it. Oh, I hear my babies. Oh, they're so hungry. I'm bringing you some worms to eat. Here you go, babies. Oh, very good. Well, now that we've fed you all those worms, you have to stand up because now you're grown up. Very good. You're a big bird now, and you have feathers and you have wings, and now you'll be able to fly away and build your own nest and lay your own eggs and have your own family someday. All right, everybody, give yourself a round of applause. Very good. Everybody sit back down, crisscross applesauce. I'm going to stay in my chair. But you know, that leads me to that song I wanted to teach you. Yes, this song is, it's called Cheep, Cheep, Cheep. And actually, I know I had you sit back down, but let's go ahead and stand up. Everybody stand up. And in our song, there are going to be some words that says cheep, cheep, cheep. And when you say those words, you have to take your hands and make them into beaks. Cheep, cheep, cheep. Can you try that with me? Cheep, cheep, cheep. Okay, very good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sing the song. And let's count to 3 and then we'll start. 1, 2, 3. Cheep, cheep, cheep. We're gonna say cheep, cheep, cheep. Cheep, cheep, cheep. We're gonna say cheep, cheep, cheep. I'm a baby bird and I'm singing my song, waiting for mom and dad to bring some food along. A worm or a cricket or a bugaloo, a little bitty spider or a grub will do. Cheep, cheep, cheep. We're gonna say cheep, cheep, cheep. Cheep, cheep, cheep. We're gonna say cheep, cheep, cheep. I'm gonna eat that food and grow up big someday. And when I'm all grown up, I'll fly away. I'll make a little nest and lay an egg. And when my baby hatches, then it will beg. Cheep, cheep, cheep. They're gonna say cheep, cheep, cheep. Cheep, cheep, cheep. We're gonna say cheep, cheep, cheep. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Oh, that was so good. Let's sit back down. Oh my goodness. Friends, I had so much fun with you today, reading that book, Are You My Mother? Seeing that stressed out Britney bird, pretending to be that baby bird growing up, and singing that song. That was a lot of fun. Did you know that every year we have a lot of different kinds of birds that raise their babies here in our Metroparks? Well, in your Metroparks, actually. And you know what? Maybe you should come on out to one of your 13 Metroparks and see if you can find some. Now, if your parents don't know where to find us, where to find the Metroparks, you can tell them to go to www.metroparks.com. And on that website, they'll be able to find out where we are and about all the fun things that we have for you to do. Well, thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye!